What if I told you that the man who seemingly sacrificed everything to protect Harry Potter was actually manipulating him for his own dark purposes? In this video, we'll examine the evidence that suggests Albus Dumbledore, the beloved headmaster of Hogwarts, may have been a dark wizard all along. Brace yourself for a journey into the heart of darkness. The idea of Dumbledore as a dark wizard challenges our traditional perceptions of this revered character. It adds a fresh, unsettling perspective to the Harry Potter narrative. If Dumbledore did have sinister motives, it would mean he secretly orchestrated events to shape the wizarding world according to his own dark designs. Welcome to the Wizard Theorist. In this scenario, we delve into the complexity of power, the potential for corruption, and the moral ambiguity that can exist even in those we trust most. Imagine if Dumbledore's influence over Harry's quest to defeat Voldemort had a dark and sinister undertone, with his intentions far from pure. This twist forces us to rethink the entire series, casting every event and decision in a new, ominous light and challenging our perceptions of good and evil in the wizarding world. Let's consider some of Dumbledore's most pivotal actions in the series and how they could be interpreted if he had ulterior motives. His defeat of the dark wizard Grindelwald, for instance, is often seen as a heroic act. However, if Dumbledore himself had dark ambitions, this victory could be viewed in a different light. Perhaps it was not a triumph of good over evil, but rather a calculated move to eliminate a rival and consolidate his own power. Throughout the series, Dumbledore's secretive nature and tendency to withhold information from Harry raise further questions. If his intentions were truly benevolent, why did he keep so many secrets? Could it be that he was manipulating events behind the scenes, guiding Harry towards a fate that ultimately served his own sinister purposes? Dumbledore's plan for Harry to sacrifice himself to defeat Voldemort takes on a much more disturbing tone if we consider the possibility that Dumbledore orchestrated it all for his own gain. Rather than a noble and necessary sacrifice, it could be seen as the ultimate manipulation, with Dumbledore using Harry as a pawn in a darker game. If Dumbledore were indeed a dark wizard, it would fundamentally alter the entire narrative of the Harry Potter series. Harry's journey, his battles against Voldemort, and the sacrifices made by those around him would all be cast in a different light. The very nature of the conflict between good and evil would be called into question, as the man who seemingly embodied the light side is revealed to have had a hidden darkness all along. The implications of Dumbledore as a dark wizard extend far beyond his own character. His relationships with those closest to him, those who trusted him implicitly, would be forever changed by this revelation. How would Harry, Snape, and the members of the Order of the Phoenix react to discovering the true nature of their leader and mentor? Dumbledore's relationships with those closest to him would be fundamentally altered if he were revealed to be a dark wizard. Harry, who looked up to Dumbledore as a mentor and father figure, would be devastated to learn that the man he trusted so deeply had been manipulating him all along. The betrayal would cut deeply, shaking Harry's faith in his own judgment and the very nature of the battle against Voldemort. Snape's relationship with Dumbledore would also take on a much more sinister tone. If Dumbledore were a dark wizard, Snape's role as a double agent would be called into question. Was he truly working against Voldemort, or was he a pawn in Dumbledore's own dark schemes? The revelation would cast doubt on Snape's ultimate loyalties and the sacrifices he made in the name of the greater good. The members of the Order of the Phoenix, who followed Dumbledore's lead and trusted in his wisdom, would be left reeling by the discovery of his true nature. Their faith in the cause they fought for would be shaken as they grappled with the realization that their leader may have had ulterior motives all along. The psychological and emotional impact would be profound as they questioned everything they believed in and the choices they made under Dumbledore's guidance. These altered relationships could have significant consequences for the actions and decisions of these characters throughout the series. Harry's trust in Dumbledore's guidance was a key factor in many of his choices. If that trust was shattered, Harry might have made different decisions, potentially altering the course of events. Snape's actions, too, would be cast in a different light, as his true motivations and allegiances were called into question. The revelation of Dumbledore as a dark wizard would ripple through every relationship he touched, leaving a trail of doubt, betrayal, and shattered trust in its wake. The very foundations of the battle against Voldemort would be rocked, as the lines between good and evil blurred, and the true nature of the conflict was called into question. But what clues might have hinted at Dumbledore's darker nature all along? A closer examination of the original series may reveal subtle hints and hidden meanings that take on new significance when viewed through the lens of Dumbledore as a dark wizard. Looking back at the Harry Potter series, with the possibility of Dumbledore being a dark wizard, certain events and details take on a more sinister meaning. His reluctance to share information with Harry, often claiming it was for his protection, could be seen as a way to control the narrative and manipulate the boy who lived. Dumbledore's insistence on Harry learning occlumency, supposedly to protect his mind from Voldemort, might have been a ploy to keep his own secrets hidden from the young wizard. The headmaster's inability to meet Harry's eyes at certain crucial moments, such as when discussing the prophecy or the Horcruxes, could hint at a guilty conscience or a fear of revealing too much. His cryptic statements and half-truths, often justified as a way to guide Harry to the truth on his own, might have been carefully crafted to steer him towards a predetermined path that served Dumbledore's ulterior motives. The events surrounding the Philosopher's Stone in Harry's first year raise questions about Dumbledore's intentions. Why did he bring such a dangerous artifact into a school full of children? Was it truly to protect it from Voldemort? Or did he have other plans for the stone? His seeming lack of concern for the safety of his students, allowing them to face deadly challenges, could be seen as a calculated risk to test and shape Harry for his future role. If Dumbledore were indeed a dark wizard, the consequences for Hogwarts and the wizarding world would be dire. The school would have been under the influence of a corrupted leader, shaping young minds and potentially recruiting followers for his own dark purposes. The trust placed in Dumbledore by the wizarding community would be shattered, leading to a crisis of faith and a power vacuum that could destabilize the entire society. The repercussions would extend to the fight against Voldemort, as the very nature of the conflict would be called into question. If Dumbledore had his own dark agenda, his actions and decisions throughout the series would need to be re-evaluated. The sacrifices made by those who followed him, believing in his cause, would be tainted by the revelation of his true nature. The revelation of Dumbledore as a dark wizard would force us to confront the unsettling reality that the line between good and evil is not always clear. The very notion challenges our understanding of morality and the nature of power, as even the most revered figures may harbor hidden darkness. This twist in the Harry Potter narrative serves as a reminder to question authority and think critically about the motives of those we trust. It encourages us to explore the gray areas of morality and recognize that the battle between light and dark is not always as straightforward as it seems. Can we ever truly know the nature of those we place our faith in? This thought-provoking question lingers long after the final page is turned, inviting readers to re-examine their perceptions and delve deeper into the complexities of the wizarding world. For more insights into the concept of twisted relationships and hidden motives in the Harry Potter universe, be sure to check out our next video, What If Lily Potter Survived and James Died Instead?, which analyzes how Harry's upbringing and the story's progression would change with Lily raising Harry alone. Stay tuned for more thought-provoking what-if explorations in the Harry Potter universe. Until next time, may your potions be potent, your spells be strong, and your adventures through the wizarding world be filled with wonder. Mischief managed.